I'm going to go backwards. How many angles are in this one?
3.
There are 3. What's the vertex?
Q.
Vertex is Q. What are the sides? What are the different sides?
R.
Not just R. Start with Q and then R. QR, QS, QP. And then what are the names of those angles? Max, you got one? PQS is one. There's SQR is another. What's the last one? PQR. Good. Any questions before I move on? Okay. Today we are learning about angle measures and naming angles. Yesterday we worked on segment measures. Yes, and looking at coordinate planes and finding those measures. So today we're moving on to angles. What is an angle? How do you measure an angle?
By degrees.
Degrees, okay? Angles are measured in degrees. How do we name angles? Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. We need to label some different parts of the angle. When I say vertex, do you guys know what that is?
Point of angle.
It's the point of the angle. So looking at number 1, what is the vertex? S is the vertex. Good. Just circle that for now. S is the vertex. Looking at number 2, what's the vertex? M. Looking at number 3, what's the vertex? J. Yep, and that's also over there for your vocab sheet. S, M, and J are, are the vertex of those angles. Looking at number 1, we want to name different names of those angles. What can be a name of that angle? I like that. Not yet, though. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, she said acute. You are right, but we're not into that yet. Like, what can I label it? What? R and T. Okay, I want that vertex in there. Where should it go? RST. RST. It could also be the other way. TSR. Okay? That vertex, it's very important to have that vertex in the middle. Okay? Because if I put RTS, that's going in this direction. But is that the way the angle goes?
No.
No. So you got to have that vertex in the middle of your label. Okay? And make sure you have this angle measure sign. Okay? Because if you put RST, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay? Number 2, how many different angles are there? 3. Why are there 3? Where do you see 3?
H, M, N, K, M, H, K, M, N.
Good. You have the 2 middle angles here that split it, and then you have that big angle. Okay? So I've heard some of them. Can you name me one? Name me one. You don't know? So start with one of the angles, and then go to your vertex. M, K. Good. H, M, K. Sergio, you got another one? Trent? What's another angle up there? We have HMK. What? HMN. Good. Gabe, you got one? And then KMN. Good. We hit all 3 of those. What do you notice about what's similar between all of these angles? What is the M?
Vertex.
The vertex is always in the middle. That was very important. Vertex is always in the middle. Number 3, how many angles do we have? We have 3 again, okay? We already talked about the vertex being J. What is one of the angles?
CJF.
I heard a lot right there. I heard GJF. Austin, what'd you say?
CJF.
CJF. What's the last one?
FJC.
FJC. Again, what is the same about all of those angles? And why is J in the middle? It is the vertex. Good. Any questions over names of angles and different parts of angles? On your homework, it's going to ask you what are the sides of the angle. So it's going to ask you the vertex. So looking at number 1, we said the vertex was S. Now we need to name the sides. What would a side of that angle be? T. Would it be T or do we need more? Because T is just a point, right? That's not a whole side.
TS.
Not TR because they're not connected. Say yours.
TS.
Yep, but start with your vertex. ST. What's that symbol that I just drew?
Side.
There's a segment on the one side and an arrow on the other. Starts with the R. It's on your vocab sheet. Rhymes with bay. Ray. Ray. Vertex is your segment point, and then it keeps going in one direction. What would the other side be? SR. Good. And then make sure you have that symbol on the top. Any questions over that? Oops. Looking at a protractor. When you put a protractor on an angle, how do you read it? So you start here, and it comes up. What would this angle measure be?
50 degrees.
50 degrees. Why is it 50 and not 130?
It's less than 90.
Because it's less than 90 degrees, so it cannot be 130. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone okay with protractors? You're not going to see much of those. Your bonus is a protractor problem, but that's probably the only one you're going to see. Okay? Okay, now we're going to find angle measures. Remember, we measure them in degrees. Good. So we want to find the big angle. It gives us the two little angles. We want to find the total measure of that whole angle. How do we find that, Austin?
Add 30 and 40 degrees.
Add 30 and 40 together. So 40 plus 30 would be what? 70 what? Degrees. Don't forget that label, okay? I'm going to be a stickler on those. Make sure you have your labels on there. Okay? Let's look at another one. 4, want to find the measure of ABC. Find where ABC is. They're talking about this whole angle. How do we do that?
60 plus 20.
Good. What's 60 plus 20? 80 degrees. Everyone good? Number 5. It's still looking for ABC. My angle goes this way. So we want that whole angle. How do we do that? What? Good. 90 plus 40, which is
130 degrees.
130 degrees. This last one, it wants ABC. Where is angle ABC? Is it the big one?
No.
Or is it this one? What is this 135?
It's all of it.
Why is it all of it and not just
It's
this?
just red.
It's
Try to be quiet.
Does it make sense for this to be 135?
No.
Why?
because it's not.
It's not
More
big
like
enough.
enough.
It's not big enough, okay? So we know that this 135, stay with me, this 135 is that whole angle. So how do we find this smaller angle ABC? Subtract what?
135 minus 135.
Good. 135 minus 60. What is 135 minus 60? Is it 70 or 70? 75 degrees. Any questions over angles? In order for an angle to be acute, how do you know it's acute? Less than 90 degrees. What if it's obtuse? Larger. What if it's a right angle? It is 90. What if it's a straight angle? It is 180 degrees. Nice job.